Hey guys, welcome to another What Has Sold in the B-Rocks eBay store. Before I get into what has sold this week, I do want to point out I have been back to school for the last couple of weeks, and it's taken some adjusting. It always does at the beginning of a school year, but this year has some new challenges with having to teach and project my voice through a mask, which has left me with a sore throat and just tired at the end of the day. And I haven't been sourcing, I haven't been listing a whole lot. And it's times like this, though, that really remind me that the algorithm does look for consistency. And so my sales have slowed. This past week has been my slowest week in probably the last 2.5 to 3 months or so. But I still have, I've done okay. It's just that the momentum has slowed, and this weekend I have been listing more, and I will be listing more over the next week because now I've adjusted. I've got my endurance back, and I'm not so tired in the afternoon. I do look to get back into the swing of things and get my store back up to selling at the velocity it was the last few months. Also, I want to give some advice to a new seller, or specifically, I should say, somebody who is doing this part-time like myself. And I get questions a lot about, hey, what's your hourly rate? And if you're a part-time reseller like myself, if you're doing it for the right reasons, that you just really enjoy it and you're not just so locked in and focused on the money, the hourly rate is not really that important. It's not to me. I do have a full-time job and I'm on salary, and so I have that consistent paycheck coming in every couple of weeks. But I look at my days, like my time with my family, and the little time I take to myself, where I just kind of wind down and not have eBay going on or schoolwork or anything like that. As long as I have that blocked out each day, then I'm fine. I don't get so caught up in, oh, I spent 7 hours on eBay today. Wow, how much, what's my hourly rate at the end of the week? That's not something that works for me. And a lot of it has to do with not just that I'm on salary, but I enjoy eBay so much. I've done this over 6 years, and I love the sourcing, the listing, the taking the pictures. I hear other resellers talk about those things being like the dirty work. I enjoy it, and it's fun to me. So I don't get hung up on the hourly rate. And another thing, for somebody who is starting out as a new seller, or you're hoping to transition from your job that you hate now to doing this full time, or maybe you've not been in work and you're wanting to do this full time, if you focus on the hourly rate so much, then you're also going to start telling yourself the lie of, I need to focus on items that are going to sell for $30 or more, and that's what's going to, that's really what's going to boost my hourly rate and make this worth it for me. And that's totally far from the truth. And the reason I believe that's far from the truth is because I see resellers in thrift stores and garage sales. I know these people. I've seen them over the last few years, and I can't tell you how many times we go into a store together or around the same time, spend the same amount of time in there, and they walk away empty-handed because they're looking for they've got that dollar amount in their head that I'm only going to buy these items that are this amount and higher. And so they look, and then they walk out. Whereas I'm going through picking up items that I'm making $4 off of, $5, whether it be shorts, t-shirts, anything to do with clothing. But I'm also hitting the electronics, I'm hitting the books, the toys. And I try to be in and out of a thrift store within an hour. If I spend more time than an hour, that means it's probably a big honey hole that day, and that's a good thing. So even though I'm buying the lower profit items, and some days I may only come out of there with 10 to 20 items that I'm only going to make $4 or $5 profit on average on each of those. But that's $50 to $100. Don't get so caught up in the hourly rate. Try to find the enjoyment in it. Let's get into what has sold in the B-Rocks eBay store this week. All right, picking up with where we left off last week with this Under Armour boys shirt. that night after the video, I started with a Dobbs felt hat, 1950's. I paid $2 for and sold for 50. T-shirt that, not a brand, a name brand t-shirt, but just a graphic with I'm just one big freaking ray of sunshine. Just a kind of a funny shirt. Paid a couple of dollars for it, sold for 12. Another Under Armour boys shirt. For the last few weeks, I've been selling a lot of Under Armour boys clothes. Sold this for 13, paid $2 for it. Paid $1 for this Nike Dry Fit men's golf long sleeve, but it's got the CSX railroad logo on the sleeve, I guess given out by the company at some point. I sold it for 20. Still selling weights. They've slowed down a little bit, but I expect them to pick up over the next few weeks deep into the fourth quarter. Sold these two for $95 and made somewhere between $35-$40 off that. The American Eagle swim trunks, still selling a lot of swim trunks. I tend to sell those year round. They pick up obviously in the spring and summer, but I mean, they don't really slow too much year round. And I paid $3 for these, sold them for 17. Boys hoodie, Nike hoodie, paid $2, sold it for 12. St. John's polo shirt. This is one of those long tail items that I'll buy on Dollar Day at Goodwill. Paid $1 for it. Even though it's not a huge name brand, it's a recognizable brand. But paid $1, sold for 13, and after shipping and everything, making about $6 to $7 off that. As you can see, more weights here. Sold for 95, and once again making probably around $41-$42 off these. Another long tail item, an Alan Flusser dress shirt. Paid $1 for it. Once again on Goodwill Dollar Day, sold it for 13. A men's Brazil soccer jersey, sold for 20. Paid $3 or $4 for it. I don't remember how much I paid for it exactly. It had to be around $3 or $4. Hager long tail item, Hager dress pants. Paid $1 for, sold for 15, and these are light enough to ship first class, so offered free shipping with those, and made about $7 to $8 off these. Brooks women's running shorts, paid $3 for these, and sold for 20. These were new with tags. Another Goodwill pickup. It's always nice to pick up a big name brand like Brooks. Brooks is extremely popular in women's and men's athletic gear, and love it when I see that they still have the tags. And I actually bought another pair of these that I had for sale for 20 as well, so hopefully those will sell soon. And also sold a women's long sleeve Nike Dry Fit shirt. I've got a few women's and men's long sleeve running shirts, Nike and Under Armour. I expect those to start moving quicker. I'm a runner myself. September, October, November are just awesome running months, even when there are not a lot of actual 5K races going on due to COVID. A lot of those 5K races and 10Ks and all that, they're doing a virtual run. And so even without the races, the races do cause the athletic clothing to sell more because people are looking for new gear to wear with each race, each weekend. But it'll still sell plenty, just because just the cool weather coming up, and it will still sell just because of the cool weather coming up, and people need to be prepared for that. A lot of times runners are somewhat of minimalist. It just kind of comes with the personality, and they don't like to hold on to running gear after one season, so they may have gotten rid of their long sleeve clothing from last season, and just with the anticipation of buying new clothing for the spring and summer season, and they're willing to just kind of rotate through and just buy new clothing with each season instead of just holding on to it, tucking it away, and then bringing it back out. And as you can see, this auction had 13 watchers before it actually sold. So, you know, that gives you an idea right there. And this shirt, I think, has only been up for about 8 weeks. But this shows you, if you've got some of this in your closet, if you've got the ability to source these long sleeve big name brands with Brooks, Nike, Under Armour, Reebok, Asics, any of those, you know, you're gonna get a lot of attention. You're gonna make sales as long as you're pricing it within a decent price range. I can look at a lot of other auctions of the same shirt that's used, and they'll have it for 20, 25, 30 bucks. And sometimes they will sell in those price ranges. You're just gonna have them sitting longer. But my athletic gear, I like to turn it over quickly just because I pick it up so often. You know, I need the turnover to happen, and I'm making money, and so I'm going for volume there instead of just long tail like I do with the dress shirts or dress pants. All right, so that's it for this week, and I'll see you next Saturday. So as always, be rocking it out. Get out there and source, load up your store, get ready for that fourth quarter. It's coming up. See ya.